Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic, and today I've got Sensei Mike and his brother, John of Giant Man Comics. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Not too much, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm sad the weekend's almost over.
Yeah, I heard that.
We finally actually got the setup working, so we are working through Hangouts, and we luckily jumped on early to try and work out any kinks, and things seem to be working pretty well. So, chat, please let us know if everything's going well on your guys' end. And we do have a howling dog in the background because all of us here are dog lovers, and so I'm sure my dog's going to be making noise throughout as well when they get upset, and so it's great. Someone who's new to the channel is indeed John. So, John, tell us a little bit about yourself.
About me, I'm a big Star Wars fan all my life. To me, there's only the three originals, but as me and Sensei Mike were talking about a week ago, the Phantom Menace and the other two are kind of growing on me more and more as this other wave of Star Wars keeps coming out, and it's just like it's not really going in the direction I actually thought it would be going in.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, for me, because I'm still one of those guys where I don't really defend the first two prequels. Like, Revenge of the Sith is a decent film. I will at least give Revenge of the Sith that much. But I just still can't get over the dialogue and the acting from the first and second film. But I will agree, at least that's a cohesive unit. At least that's a cohesive trilogy. You look at this new stuff, and Last Jedi just, like, takes continuity and goes, psh, just destroys it. And what do y'all thought?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say I saw that article you did today about Kathleen Kennedy saved Star Wars.
I know. I read it. I saw the title. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Is someone really going to try and argue this point at this point?"
It's amazing what they're doing. I can't explain it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also, like, what are your thoughts? Because Sensei, especially for you, what are your thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy getting a 3-year contract extension among all of this?
Oh, I think it was an awful decision on Disney's part.
Yeah.
And honestly, if they're going to keep Kathleen Kennedy, they're probably going to go ahead with Johnson's trilogy, perhaps.
No, absolutely, because it's been reported that one of the main reasons why that trilogy was talked about was because she likes Rian Johnson so much, because he's one of those guys where he's like, oh, this is what you want? Okay, I'll go along with it. I'll listen to what you have to say. And he's kind of the yes man type director. And so, unfortunately, with 3 more years of Kennedy, we're going to get at least one, you would think, at least one Rian Johnson movie, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
Yes, absolutely. But I will say, this article and all this news has kind of revitalized me, because now it's like, okay, well, now I have a better reason and a bigger reason to not go and see it, to not go and see episode 9, and then also to hardcore boycott anything Rian Johnson does.
I couldn't believe what he put out the other night.
I know.
Did you see what he did?
No.
When Kathleen Kennedy got reinstated, or her contract,
3 years,
he put a tweet up and it said a crown. There was like a crown or something.
Yeah, it was like a queen's crown, and then it was her with. It was supposed to say, normally the original photo has Star Wars the Force is female, and this one just had Star Wars in like multi-colors on it, and it was like, really, Ryan, really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say hello to all your chat. Hello to the Valkyries and everyone else out there who supports Odin.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, tonight we got Rian Johnson's Crack Pipe is back in the chat. I always love reading that name. And then
I keep looking over here.
And then Ultra Fake News is another one that's new to the channel. I like all the Jeremys. Mirror Jeremy is here.
Yeah, all the Jeremys.
I was looking through like my Twitter followers today, and I realized that every single fake Jeremy account follows me, and I was like, this is wonderful. This is amazing.
Right. There's a guy, he owns Geeks and Gamers. He's a pretty big site. His name's Jeremy.
All right.
He has all kinds of different I don't know what would we call them. Personalities?
Yes, exactly. So basically, I think it all started off with his hair. So someone created like a Twitter account of just Jeremy's hair. And then slowly it turned into all of these different personalities. And so there's like proper Jeremy, Jeremy Olstein. So he's like a preacher. Oh, it's great. There's so many great personalities.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Let's see. There was someone who made a comment. So Nickel Noodles, what's going on, Nickel Noodles? Welcome back to the chat. And then I think it was, Laura said something. Ryan stole my fan fiction story. That's another great name. She says, that trilogy will never happen. Is an addition 3 years really that much of an endorsement? It's an endorsement. I mean, it's an extension. So she's gone for 3 more years, and that's going to be through episode 9. And it's going to take him at least probably another year and a half to get his, story down. So we might very well get one Ryan Johnson film, unfortunately.
Isn't his, doesn't he have a project coming up with Daniel Craig?
Yes, so that was like the big thing that people said, oh, you see, and I can't really deny it. I mean, he got this project, and because Daniel Craig's in it, it's going to make money, unfortunately. And so he's not going anywhere for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Peabody. So I showed him it earlier, but no. So Mr. Peabody, I showed you Prune Face earlier, guys. So the reason why he sent me Prune Face is because he has a very round head. And so for us, this is Ryan Johnson. This is our depiction of Ryan Johnson right here. It's Prune Face.
Look at his Tico he has up on the top.
I see it.
Yeah.
See this? I got my Rose. I got my Kylo Ren. This is Roselo right here. Everyone's talking about Raylo. Psh, Raylo's nothing. Rose Tico in episode 9 is going to turn into a bad guy, and then these two are going to make out, and then everyone's going to be like, what the hell am I watching? And I'll be like, yes, this is great. Subvert our expectations, Disney. If you're going to do it, you might as well go all the way with it.
Yeah, they might as well. I mean, they can't burn it down.
You can't bury it anymore. You can't go any deeper.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. You know what? You might as well make it funny. I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the worst way possible. Hashtag subvert our expectations, says Tina.
Yeah. So, Odin, what's your expectations with JJ?
I don't know. I mean, he does I overall like him as a director. I'm not going to deny that he definitely borrows from a lot of films every time that he directs something. There's no denying that. However, I still like the movies that he makes for the most part. So if I had to guess, I would say that he's probably going to do the same thing that he did with episode 7, where he's probably going to borrow heavily from, I'm assuming, Return of the Jedi. And there's going to be a lot of the same tones and elements to it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. What do you think he's going to do?
From set photos and leaks so far, it's looking like they're doing something in a forest. I mean, so it could be like Return of the Jedi. Who knows? Yeah,
it's true. The only one that does is him, and then of course Kathleen Kennedy. And I can only
what a mess he has to clean up, though.
I know. Seriously, if anyone could do it though. Because, again, I know there's people out there that don't defend him. I personally do. So, for me... Oh, Matthew Kadish! Dropping a bomb. Thank you for the $20 super chat, Matthew. He says, to the bittersweet feeling over being right about something you hoped you were wrong about. That's right, yeah, because Matthew Kadish was like the only real person, because I had him on in an interview a while ago, and he was saying she's not leaving, she's not going, she's probably going to be on until 2030. This is how Hollywood works. They don't care about they don't care about the audience, they don't care about our, what we perceive to be reality. They live in their own world, and he was the only one saying that. There were some people who didn't like that. We had this big powwow on the Geeks and Gamers channel where he was the only one that was defending his position, and then sure enough, about a week after that interview, a week after that powwow, she got a 3-year contract extension. So, and he's not happy about it. He's like, I wanted to be wrong. I was hoping that you guys would be right, that she would be gone. But, it's that bittersweet thing where he's like, yeah, I was right. But it's not really the best thing to be right about this certain situation.
Mm-hmm. I was on, I was listening to Doomcock the other night. He had a wake.
That's right.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Doomcock, he's like a streaming champion, because I remember there was one 24-hour period where he was streaming probably for like 80% of that time.
He got a super chat of $1,000.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you could go that high. That's crazy.
one stream I saw him get 800.
Yeah.
And then the other night he got 1,000.
Oh
I
my
couldn't believe it.
goodness.
Yeah.
Because I know the one for 800, I think I was there for, because I don't think it was from an American. I think it was from overseas, and it translated to like 800, I think, maybe.
Okay.
But
maybe that's something similar to what happened.
Yeah.
But I know.
But he still got like an equivalent to 800 American dollars, like in a super chat, and I'm assuming also to $1,000. I mean, that's just Doomcock's awesome though. Like he is just,
yeah.
He's a guy that like took a character, kept going with it, and has just been like very just a commonsensical person. Like, and with the name Doomcock, he can talk about pretty much anything. So like, I feel like sometimes I'm limited with what I can talk about since I'm Odin's movie blog, but like with him, he can talk about anything. So I let him take some of the things, you know.
Have you been on a chat with him before?
I've not. I've been in the chat in his streams before, but I know that I think it was Adam Shawhan, who's a subscriber here, and also his entire Wiener Dog clan, who's also part of the channel here as well. I think they all put the word out saying, "Hey, Doomcock, Odin's interested in doing a stream with you." So I think we're gonna try and do something together soon. But he's cool.
Yeah, he sounds like a great dude to just chat with.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's see. Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan says, Doomcock is our pop. It was only 500 when turned into USA money. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Still, pretty good amount of money. And that's on top of everything else that he was getting. So that was just one, but it was one of many different donations that he was getting.
Sorry to sound silly. Is that Mike's brother?
What's it say?
It says, sorry to sound silly, but is that Mike's brother?
Oh, yeah. That's all right.
Yes, that is John. That is Sensei Mike's brother. Older? Younger?
Older.
Okay, gotcha.
Couple years.
Couple years, okay.
I'm just reading through the comments. They're hysterical. I'm trying to find. Perth Comics says, I don't careful what we're talking about. It could probably get worse. I got to disagree. I don't think it could. I don't think it can get any worse.
Oh, it can always get worse. It can always get worse.
They call you Sensei John.
I say, especially with Star Wars, I mean, they could, you thought that a pansexual Lando Calrissian in a droid was bad? Oh, just wait.
Wait till you give us a chance. What do you say on them memes? Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Oh man, just wait till he gets back into the Millennium Falcon. Oh boy.
Oh man.
I've already said there's like one of two things that will make me walk out of the theater, because I'm already not paying for it. I'm already going to pay to see something else before I go see it, because I have to come back and report to how good or bad it is, probably how bad it is. And there are two things that will make me get up and walk out. One, if the damn Millennium Flamingo starts talking to me in that stupid SJW voice, that will get me out of the theater. And two, if Vice Admiral Holdo comes out of hyperspace and is alive, if that happens, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done.
Matthew Kadich, wait, Sensei, Moneybags Mike, tell him I need help with the mortgage payment.
Thank you, Matthew, for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. And then Laura says R2-D2 is going to be a socialist.
Oh my!
They could absolutely do that for sure. And I just forgot I need to make my bot Heimdall live, because people can't check their cookie count. Sorry, guys. If you've been trying to check your cookies, it's because Heimdall was shut down. My computer can only handle so many things at a time. Tina says, I don't even think Billy D even knows. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, it disappeared.
I was reading it too.
Yeah, I don't even think Billy D knows what they've done to his character. He's like 100 years old. He thinks he's back in the good old days.
I saw him training for the movie. He was hitting focus mitts. I swear. Oh my!
I just feel like, because I remember seeing a picture of him and he was like in a wheelchair, and I was like, good God, they're probably like wheeling him around set saying, all right, Billy D, just get up and say your line.
That's just terrible.
I know.
That's so bad.
Yep. If they try,
so what do you think? Are they gonna?
What was that?
Are they going to resurrect Luke, or is he going to be a Force ghost? Or what do you think about that?
I think, if anything, he's going to be a Force ghost. You know, that's kind of the direction they seem to be going with it. I think I've heard rumors that they're going to try and go into like the Force world realm, like explain what it is and this different plane. They're going to try and maybe explain what it is and give some more backstory to it. Either way, though, I mean, it's not going to save what the damage has already been done.
No. You think Phasma come back?
Yes, the third time is going to be the charm. She's going to come back once again, and she's going to be on screen for 2 minutes. And then instead of Finn, it's going to be Rey. It's going to be a woman-on-woman fight, and she's still going to lose in like 2 minutes. And then she's going to have another ambiguous death once again. And it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Oh, God, Laura says something great. Laura says they are going to dig up Maul's corpse and have him be a zombie. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, hooray. That's right, the Hux Ray conspiracy theory. Called Hooray. I love it, though. I love the name. Hooray.
Aren't they saying now that they think that he's going to turn good because of the whole Kylo issue? Or
that's what they're saying. That's what, like, the rumor right now is that there might be a turn in Hux, and that's why I'm saying if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna make Hux turn good, someone has to turn bad, and that's why my #1 pick is Rose. Because that would be an amazing turn. It'd be the one things I would be in the theater going, yeah, get it. Come on, Tico.
I mean, if you really analyze The Last Jedi, the whole Finn crash, I mean, and then in the background, you see the blaster hitting the door. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't
I think my
sense.
favorite like video that's been posted on Twitter lately, it was how to fix the problem, and it was that scene, only instead Rose's ship gets shot out of the air before she's able to save Finn. I was like, yep, that's how a lot of people feel.
Yeah, yep. Sure.
Tina made a good comment. Phasma is the Kenny of Star Wars. Oh, the Force. You
That's
killed
a good
Phasma.
one. That's great. That's a good one.
That's so correct. Okay, Rhaegar says, if Rose or Rey do not turn, I will walk out of the theater. Yes, we need a heel turn. We need it, as wrestling terms go, we need a heel turn from either Rey or Rose.
Let me ask you something. Whatever happened to Luke's green saber? They never explained it, have they?
And if they did, it's in the comic, because apparently they explain everything and do away with every plot hole, or, you know, plot holes, you know, the ones that they could at least fix in the comic version of the film, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What do you think?
What happened to him?
Yeah.
I would, you know, like you said, you'd have to look at the comics. I wouldn't.
They forgot about it.
I have no idea where.
Yeah, there's so many plot holes. I mean,
I know, and the comic can only cover so much, which is why they ignore the hyperspace ram, because no one can touch that nonsense. And so instead, they basically, like, the one thing that it did explain was how Rey was able to beat Luke, and it's because he slipped. That was the justification in the comic. He slipped.
Oh, it was in the comic. I always thought it was because when she touched Kylo, she got the Force or something.
No, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, basically it was up to interpretation. It's like, how did she win? Oh, guess we have to figure it out. And so Disney, in all their wise, you know, all their wisdom, said, you know what? We're going to make a comic, and we're going to say he slipped. And it's going to explain everything. Thanks, Disney. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Matthew Kadish's
death is coming next.
Matthew Kadish's prediction is Rey is going to redeem Kylo, and they're both going to run the new Jedi Order together. Again, I hope I'm wrong. Yep, that would be. You know what though? If J.J. Abrams was going to go in any direction, realistically, not my, you know, my pipe dreams of how they're going to book, you know, Rose becoming a Sith Lord or something like that. That would be amazing if it happened, but. The most generic thing is he gets redeemed, and then he either, if he doesn't do that though, Matthew, I'd say that he probably will sacrifice himself for Rey, because love.
Hey, I just wanted I got a chat here. Well, it's on a chat from Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan.
Yeah.
He's thanking me. So you're very welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, Shawhan's great, and the Wiener Dog Clan is always in full force and always great to see. Let's see. Laura says, hello, couldn't R2 have Luke's green saber? It's possible. It's possible, but when... I don't know. I feel like that would be a lazy plot device if they decided to make it go that way.
Yeah, they didn't even explain how they got the blue one.
Yeah. It also doesn't really explain why R2 was out of commission for so long and then just randomly wakes up and just, oh, here we go. I have all the answers you need. Convenient plot device. All right, let's see. Brad Noble. Brad is our pet troll, and he says, why is this chat so bald? Brad, stop throwing that fire out, man.
Yeah, I'm bald under this head rag.
I think Brad's saying it because he's probably bald himself and he doesn't want to show himself.
I gotta get a hat like yours. You're always pimping with that hat.
Hey man, I mean, I think they still sell it. It's a WWE hat. It's this wrestler,
really?
Sami Zayn. This is his official hat from the merch store, and I was like, I like this hat. And it got in, I was wearing it, and then one day I decided to wear it for the stream, and I was like, hey, people like it, so I'm gonna keep it on. So now it's like this thing. So now my students at school, like, they've done a couple of interviews with me, and they're like, always bring the hat. And I'm like, all right. So now it's like a defining characteristic.
No, nice. You still follow wrestling a lot?
Oh yeah, I still watch it every single week. Grant A, welcome to the channel. Yeah, I still watch it every single week, and NXT is still so much better than the main shows right now, though. Oh, the main shows, Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown is actually mostly okay; it's tolerable, but Raw is just 3 hours of nonsense.
Yeah, I don't follow it too much. Every once in a while, I'll watch it, but that's about it.
Dave Bob says, I have a Stetson fedora for Odin's Movie Blog, vintage if he wants it. Really, Dave Bob? Tell me more about this vintage fedora that you have. I very well might be interested in that.
Nice.
Brad says, I make bald have hair. Oh, Brad. In fact, you know what, Tina, Steph, can you go ahead and put Brad in timeout? I'm feeling like putting Brad in timeout tonight. Hashtag justice for Brad. Hashtag Brad for jail. But anyway, so other than everything else going on, is there anything? So obviously, Star Wars is kind of screwed. The future of Star Wars is in a lot of danger at this point. Is there anything that you're looking forward to? Is there any movie or project that you think could be something to look forward to in the dismal news that we've been getting lately with Star Wars?
I kind of like the trailer for Venom, but I'm kind of disappointed that it's not rated R.
Yeah. No,
he was always just a menace, and he was just so violent. And I don't know how they're going to do that justice.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have the news coming out that I think it's this week or next week where Deadpool is being re-released, but that's a PG-13 cut.
I saw that. And that's interesting because now that Disney owns them, what about part 3? Are they going to has Disney ever even made an R-rated movie?
I'm trying to think, and as far as Disney proper, I'm not sure if they've ever done a rated R. Because I'm trying to think maybe like a T, but I don't even think I don't think they own any subsidiary companies that have ever made a rated R film either. I'm not sure about that question, actually.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, because I mean, my concern, because if they're just putting it out there in PG-13 because they want more people to see it, I'm fine with that. Like, I'll probably go see it again because I still love Deadpool. But if they're doing it because they want to see how well it's going to do, and it's going to determine whether or not they make Deadpool 3 PG-13, then I'm not okay with it. I think that would be a huge mistake on their part because it's doing very, very well as a rated R property.
Exactly. That'd be an awful mistake, I believe. Doomcock brought up a good point the other night. He said that he feels that each time they're going to release like a reboot, they're going to get rid of the old ones eventually.
Really, you think?
Well, that's what he thinks.
Okay.
And it could happen.
No, it is. I mean, Disney could do anything at this point, and that's why I'm kind of worried, because obviously there's certain properties that you can make PG-13, but there's also others where it's like, Deadpool, for example. It just doesn't make sense not to have it rated R. It really just doesn't. And, Edward Coleman says if Deadpool 3 is PG-13, I'm out. And I feel like a lot of people would feel that way. And then Matthew Kadish and Tina both got that information for us. So they did not Disney has never released a rated R film on its own, but they used to release them under, was it Touchstone Pictures? They used to release rated R films. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay. Yeah, you guys hear the pupper? Says, "Oh, puppers." I'm gonna go check on them real quick.
Okay.
John, take over here, buddy. I'll be right back.
The X Factor, PG-13.
Yeah, let's see. Stephanie B. Yeah, thank you very much, Stephanie B, for timing out Brad. It's always a great thing to see. Matthew Kadish says Deadpool 3 is actually going to be X-Force. Oh, it's a puppy! Oh, look at the puppy!
Logan, say hi to everybody.
Oh,
he's a big boy.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, he's my son. He's a big boy, 11-month-old Doberman.
Oh, he's adorable.
Oh, he's great, man. His I got him over in Ohio. They used to race show horses and show animals and things like that. And his father actually won the AKC championships in Ohio last year.
Okay. But
I don't have the time or the means to, teach him how to prance and do all that stuff. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. I saw one comment that was made. So Miramax was bought by them too, but they don't make movies anymore. Star Wars Dad says that Bumblebee is going to be a great movie. What are your thoughts on the Bumblebee trailer?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sitting there enjoying reading the comment. I think it looked fantastic.
Okay.
The Transformers, the first three, they were incredible. Then they just started kind of getting more repetitious. Give me a good plot and some. I mean, the actors and actors were decent in it, but the plot kind of just kept getting so repetitious that you kind of fall off. You know what I mean?
You actually like Transformers 3?
Which one? 1 and 2 were good. 3 was, is that the one with Wahlberg?
I'm about to say, I don't even know. No. Wahlberg didn't enter in until 5?
4?
Maybe 4 or 5? Because I stopped.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it kind of progressed into that repetition. It kept going, in the same direction every time.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I think they're a lot more true to the characters from Gen 1 with Soundwave and
Shockwave. Bumblebee in the trailer there, Starscream. Yeah, they do. They were throwing out characters that is, back in the 80s Transformers, I didn't hear of half of them, you know what I mean? And I mean, going from the movies to the toys kind of, you know what I mean? Like, they had different – they kind of gave us newer characters where they should have gave us the older ones.
Okay. Like,
Soundwave looks fantastic. He looks just like the figure did in 85, you know what I mean? Did you see that? And then Ravage comes out of his chest, and that's the Transformers that I remember.
Yeah. Now, and I think that what really comes down to is the fact that, Michael Bay can make good movies. I mean, we can go back to The Rock. I would even put The Island up there too. So he knows how to make good movies. But when it came to Transformers, it was all just style over substance. It was all let me try and put explosions and CGI robots and just, who needs a story when I can just put all these characters, all these different things on the screen? And it just didn't work for a lot of people. Bumblebee looks like it's not only using the Transformers identity and property, but it's going to make a cohesive, decent story around it as well. So,
and that last one was awful.
I never saw it. 'Cause I think it was last night. I think it was last night was the one.
Yeah, don't even bother. It is. It's probably one of the top 10 worst sci-fi movies I've ever seen.
Mr.
For sure. Maybe in the top 5.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Mr. Peabody says, Mike, is your dog wearing tap shoes?
I got to get his nails cut.
My dogs are always like, even when we trim them, they're still sharp and they still make noise. But let's see. Dave Bob says, I will be in New Orleans. Is that October 12th to 14th? After live stream, go to Discord. We'll see. Awesome, Dave Bob. Sounds good, man. Would love to have a meetup, man. So I'll definitely go check you out on Discord after the stream.
So you starting to travel around a little bit? What are your plans?
I'm not traveling. This is someone else who's going to be in the area, and he's just letting me know about it. So, but for me, the next travel, like the major travel plans that I have as far as related to the channel are concerned, is in, I think it's April. Yeah, in April when we have Star Wars Celebration. I'm not planning on going to actual Star Wars Celebration. If that changes, I'll let everyone know. But at this point, I'm planning at least flying up to Chicago to be in the area to hang out with everybody that's going to be up there. I know there's a bunch of people who follow the streams, who follow like Geeks and Gamers and are part of the Fandom Menace, are part of the community, who are going to be up there as well. So it'd be cool to have that kind of a meetup, because I can only really go up there for the weekend anyway because of my job. I can't miss. I unfortunately can't choose to miss work.
Right. I can't wait to see all the Fandom Menace t-shirts and all the Soilo shirts.
Yes. Oh my God. Especially, and this is what I was saying, like with this news of her being on contract for another 3 years, it's going to like ramp up so much of that, because it was already going to be big before, but now people are going to make a point to either buy a shirt or at the very least like wear it every single day that they're at the event, because it's not looking good for them. Right.
He was telling me that he went to a toy show not too long ago, and they were walking around with Soilo shirts.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. Because I say my Geeks and Gamers shirt should be coming in pretty soon, so I'm excited to be wearing that as well. Matthew Kadish asked a good question. He says, "What do you think of SJWs calling Harry Potter racist because of the shape-shifting Asian in Fantastic Beasts 2?" Do you hear about that controversy?
I never really followed Harry Potter. I never even read the books, to be honest with you. I'm not very familiar with the Fantastic Beasts series. Mm-hmm. But I don't put it past them to say things like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because basically, it's revealed in the trailer that Nagini, who was, Voldemort's snake and also a Horcrux and all that stuff, basically that originally, or at least what the trailer seems to indicate, was that she was originally a shape-shifting person, and it's played by an Asian actress. And so SJWs went crazy saying, "Oh, that's racist. That's racist. She's a snake and she's Asian. Oh my God, that's racist." And then like you have even J.K. Rowling coming out saying, that's kind of the history of the character, is from the East, and what's your big what's the big issue? So they're basically overplaying their hand with it, just trying to shove it down everyone's throats. Like for me, I'm like, it's a character. It's not meant to be. It's like, just shut up, people. Like it's like if you're complaining about a snake in Harry Potter being played by an Asian woman, you have too much time.
Is it Johnny Depp going to be in this one?
God, unfortunately, that was the really? I was saying.
Yeah, I did see something.
I was watching that because my wife's a huge Harry Potter fan. She loves Harry Potter. And so we went to go see Fantastic Beast. And, like, overall, I was like, okay, this is enjoyable. Like, it's a good time. But at the very end, when Colin Farrell was awesome in the movie. And I was like, oh, he's going to be the bad guy. This is going to be great. But then he's going through this transformation. And then all of a sudden, it's Johnny Depp. And I was just like, oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. I was like, please, no. You had a cool character, and now it's been ruined because Johnny Depp is once again, playing a weird, eccentric character.
Yeah, he's in that SJW group as well.
Yeah. Laura says, "Poll, do you think?" Oh, so Sensei and John, do you think that Kathleen Kennedy is going to be at Star Wars Celebration?
Wow, if she's there, she's going to get a lot of boos.
Yes. She's going to catch a lot of flack
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if she would show her face. I mean, she might not even be, because the whole Iger issue when he came out last week, 2 weeks ago, and blamed pretty much himself for putting him out too fast and things like that. He might just be keeping her on, just like in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think I mean there's a precedent for it because she hasn't done anything since Solo. Like she hasn't done any press events or anything. So I think, to me, as far as optics are concerned, they would be stupid to let her walk out on stage at Celebration and say anything, because she would get booed heavily by a lot of people there.
Right.
In fact, if they were to announce at any point that she was going to be there, and they probably wouldn't do this until like a week before, I'd probably make a point to try and find a ticket just so that I can be a part of that and wear my Phantom Menace t-shirt.
Right. I'm sure a lot of people would.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still, so Matthew Kadish makes a point saying, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy is still fully in charge, but I think that as far as like, I think she would make the choice just for optics to, you know, stay in the shadows, as y'all were saying.
Does she have any creative control at all?
She is the president of Lucasfilm, so she is running the show. So she has essentially control of everything that comes in and out of Lucasfilm. Now, obviously, she has a boss. You know, she is not, you know, she's not the highest person in the food chain when it comes to Disney, but she runs Lucasfilm, so she has full control.
I mean, like, she let Johnson get away with some of the worst moves ever. Yeah. And she's been a producer since what, the early 80s, you know. She's got her name on a lot of hit movies. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, she greenlit everything, and as Matthew says, she has full creative control, and it makes sense because look at Solo. She is the one that allowed Lord Miller to get 80% of the way done before firing them, and then hired someone else to balloon the budget, and that was all her. So yeah, she has full creative control, and that's the reason why she likes Rian Johnson, because Rian Johnson is very cordial and is very, you know, he's a playing ball kind of director, and so with her being on for 3 more years, Rian Johnson unfortunately is a lot more likely today than yesterday to be getting his trilogy after all, which will not be good for anyone, especially for Disney, because no one's gonna see it.
Yeah, do you think that the Benninghoff and Weiss guys are going to put one out first?
So I know that they're currently working on their series. So from what I know, 2019 is when their streaming service goes live. And I think, to what I know, I think the first show coming out is going to be the, not their show, but the one that's going to be, obviously, Clone Wars. The final season is going to be out there. And I think they're planning on having like multiple series running concurrently with each other. So that one's going to be out there. The one by, oh my goodness, I always blank on his name, and I don't know why.
Favreau,
that's it. I always forget his name. Jon Favreau. His series is going to be coming down the pipe, I think, in 2019 as well. And then of course we got the Game of Thrones guys too. So it's
I'm kind of interested in what Favreau is going to do. He's a pretty straight up guy. I mean, he's done a lot of good work in the past.
Yeah, and he's a guy, too, where I think that he has enough clout where Kathleen Kennedy will kind of let him do his own thing. Like, she'll probably have enough trust in him to make a good product. So, out of all those shows, you know, obviously Dave Filoni and Clone Wars, I think, could be good as long as he has most control over it, over the product, you know, as a final season. And that one would obviously be good, too. So, yeah, I have to wait to see, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Favreau pretty much created the MCU.
Yeah, definitely. He got to kickstart it for sure. I mean, I put him and Feige kind of as a tag team because, you know, they were both very pivotal to getting all this, you know, all this stuff really going. But Favreau was definitely the one that got everything started with the first Iron Man film. No doubt about it.
Yeah. That was a great film.
Yeah, that kicked everything off there.
I was so sad when Iron Man 2 came out, and I was like, no. No, Favreau, no.
What did you think about 3?
So I actually like 3 because I went into it knowing, okay, this is going to be a Shane Black movie, not an Iron Man movie. It's like Iron Man is a pawn in Shane Black's world. So I was fine with it. I laughed my ass off when they revealed the Mandarin, or what was supposed to be the Mandarin, was actually an actor named Trevor. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was fantastic.
Right.
That's subverting expectations the right way.
Exactly. I heard that his Predator's not doing too well though.
It's not.
It's gonna make some money a little bit. I mean, it might just make it back, but it's not like there are a lot of negative reviews. I was gonna go see it, but I'm not now.
Basically, it all comes down to a couple of things. Like, if you like Shane Black, if you like his style of comedy, you will like the Predator film. If you go into it thinking that you want to see a Predator movie, don't go see it. Because it's about as far from a Predator film as can possibly be. But if you go into it thinking, okay, I like Shane Black, I'm ready for a Shane Black movie, then I think that you might actually like it. You might actually enjoy it. And I'm going to pull the box office numbers up now because I haven't checked them in a while. Because the last time I checked, it was, it was doing okay. It's not, it's not the highest grossing film of all time, but it's definitely going to be making some kind of a profit, enough to be able to justify them making a sequel if they want to.
Right. I saw Mahler's review the other night, and
he didn't like it.
Tore it apart. No, he tore it apart, man.
Yeah, and I hear that because it's definitely one of those movies where you're either going to love it or you're going to absolutely hate it. And I went in with that mindset of, okay, this is what I know I'm getting into. So yeah, it was made for a budget of $88 million, which is actually not a lot. Like, surprisingly, you would think you'd get more. And so far worldwide, it's made $115 million. So at this point, it's about breaking even when you take into account marketing costs and everything, or it's at least on pace to break even. So we'll see how it does overall as the days go by.
Right. So what are your thoughts on this whole Marvel thing? Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Oh my God. You mean the Hero?
Yeah.
The Hero? When that part of the trailer, well, as soon as it popped up, I was like, I facepalmed. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like, really? We can't tell by looking at it that she's a woman? We can't tell that?
I know.
Every article that's been written about it, oh my gosh, a female superhero. Really? I never knew that. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Just shoving it down everyone's throats.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be too bad if they let her be the one to take Thanos out. I mean, after all their work the past 10 years, and she just comes along and, saves the day.
Yep. That's what it's looking like is going to happen, unfortunately. And it's one of those situations where, to me, the thing that got me the most frustrated was the fact that people are calling anyone that's a critic of the trailer a sexist because saying that someone should smile is apparently a sexist phrase and expression.
They'll find anything nowadays to just poke at just stuff it down your throat, whatever it is. Whatever it be. He didn't smile enough. He's racist. He didn't do this enough. He's an SJW. Why is it always like that?
No, yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. Like, literally, if you criticize anything and you happen to be a straight white male, anything that you say is immediately racist, homophobic, sexist, whatever expression you want to say. You can't have an honest opinion anymore. Right. And it's sad because, no, we can have dialogue with each other. We can have disagreements with each other. It doesn't mean you have to go ahead and call people racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, etc. All the new terms
same thing with all the politics and stuff you see. This one you like them, this one you don't. Who's a supporter of this one? Who cares?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yep. No, you're exactly right. You are absolutely right.
And there's people that, like, I've actually got deleted off of Facebook from people that I went to school with over 30 years, known them all my life. You got to be crazy posting that. Well, yeah, have a nice life. And they delete it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, my God.
You can't be serious.
Wow. Yeah. See, the only time I've ever deleted anyone off of my Facebook for that kind of thing is when someone has, like, attacked me. So there was actually one time where I posted something, and, I'm a devout Catholic. I teach at a Catholic school. And I posted something.
We went to Catholic school.
Yeah. And so one of my friends for a very long time just started to attack the church. And was like going off, like just all his frustrations were going off on the church. And I was like, dude, you got to stop. And he just wouldn't. And I was like, I'm sorry. I got to do it. I had to unfriend you because this is just an attack. Like, that's an attack. Like, just going after and being offensive, that's one thing. But saying, hey, I disagree with you. Here's my thoughts. That's not an attack. But in today's world, if you're an SJW and you have someone who says, well, actually, I think that this person's actually not a terrible president. Oh, my God. I can't be friends with you anymore. You're awful.
Exactly. That's what I'm kind of getting to.
You don't like the Captain Marvel trailer? Oh, you're a sexist.
Right. I've been watching lately, and he's always tearing apart the SJWs is Jeremy from the Quartering.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he does pretty good.
Yeah. And Matthew Kadish made a good point saying, don't forget there's no such thing as objective or logic in film and television anymore. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. It's the reason why, and that's also the reason why, Matthew, you see, overall box office is, not nearly as good as it has been in the past. You look at these award shows that are plummeting because no one wants to be preached to anymore. And I was so happy when the Emmy ratings came back. I was like, yep, 10% drop from last year, when last year was the lowest of all time, and now this past year has. And I can't wait to see the Oscar ratings as they plummet as well, because it's just going to be like attack, nonstop.
Yep.
Tina says girl power or something. Yeah, pretty much. Girl power.
I don't have a problem with the female superhero. I mean, I
actually
enjoyed Wonder Woman.
No one does.
Yeah, I like Wonder Woman. And strong female characters. Sarah Connor, Sigourney Weaver. What was her from Aliens?
Yes.
Ripley.
Yep.
I mean, there's several you can.
But you see, those aren't real female characters because those are just masculine. Those could have been played by anyone. That's like the new excuse is that a female character is not really a true female character, not a true female hero. And it's like, just shut up. Like you're just trying to find excuses to paint everyone in a certain light. It's just, oh my goodness gracious, I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you like Wonder Woman?
It's a B movie, so compared to everything else that the DC has put out, it is an Academy Award-winning movie because everything else DC has done has just been atrocious. But I will say I overall liked Wonder Woman. I had some problems with some pacing, villain, CGI, things that I normally have issues with. So for me, it was like a mid-level Marvel film. If I had to compare it with anything, it was like a mid-level Marvel film. It wasn't one of the greatest. It wasn't one of the worst either. It was, it was decent. It was good. I own it. I mean, that's how good it is. I own it because my wife really liked it. I thought it was okay, so I own it. But it's not like, for me, the top films, like superhero films, would be like Captain America, Winter Soldier. That's like one of my all-time favorites out of all the movies that have come out. Civil War is up there. Even recently, Thor Ragnarok is up there for me. Those are like the top films. Like Wonder Woman is more, for me, more like a, original Thor movie where I like it a lot. But it's not, the best out there. So, it would be on my top 10, top 15,
Me and John were just talking about Aquaman the other day. We don't think it's going to make it.
I don't either. And I know there's so many DC fanboys who are like, you're just a hater. You just hate DC. It's like, no, it just doesn't look good. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it just doesn't. I don't think that it'd ever be able to get something like that just spot on. Mm-hmm.
It'd have to be done real well. It'd have to be done super well and knock your socks off to even get there. He's not he's a character, yeah. One of the bigger ones, no, not at all. So you're kind of bringing, like how Marvel brought Black Panther in. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. I never read any of the comic books of Doctor Strange or Panther, so I think going into it blinded without any opinion is the reason I liked them both. You know what I mean? Like it kind of was because I didn't have my own perception of the character coming in.
No,
but with Aquaman, I don't know if you could write a good story no matter what. I mean, a character
that's been the butt of so many jokes for so long.
Oh man!
And it's just, I mean, and they got one of the most badass actors to play him, which I think is great. It's a step in the right direction, but I just don't think Jason Momoa is a leading guy. I just don't think he has it in him to lead an entire movie.
I would have used him as Lobo.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
No, my opinion. I just think he looks the part better for someone like that character.
Okay.
Morbius.
He
could have done Morbius too with Spider-Man, the bad guy there with the long hair and all that stuff. I never see him. He's like a vampire kind
of. Let me see. So Nickel Noodles, just catch up with some of the chat. Nickel Noodles says, "Hey Odin, am I going to have to update your Three Amigos picture since you have 2 new co-hosts?" That would be a fun image for sure. Tina says, I confess, if I see Aquaman, it's only because of Momoa. Yes, I can be shallow.
He's charming to the ladies, man.
He's gonna bring the ladies in. No, trust me, he's gonna bring the ladies in. So that's the reason why I think it's gonna make, over $500 million. I just don't think it's gonna break the billion at this point.
No
shot. No. Greta entered the chat. Greta says hi to you, Sensei Mike.
Hey, Greta, how are you?
And I think that's everything. But yeah, keep on going, talking about what kind of money you think that Aquaman's gonna make.
Oh man,
I don't think it'll cut even. I really don't.
I don't think it's gonna. It might hit 3, maybe. I don't know.
Really? Oh, wow.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. Where are you thinking?
So my range right now, and this hasn't changed in a long time, just because of so basically DC has a cap. The highest gross that it has was around in the $900 million, and that was Wonder Woman. I don't think it's going to be that successful, because Wonder Woman was a really good film, and that was kind of like a special case. I think that it's going to be either as low as Justice League, which was around $650 million, and as high as Batman v Superman, which is around $850 million. And the reason why is because I think people are still going to go see it. They still have a very hardcore, very passionate DC fan base that will go to see anything that they put out, who want to try and make everyone else believe, oh no, these are even better than Marvel. These are better than the Marvel films. And people just aren't buying it, because it's just not right. It's just not the case right now, at least as far as their live action. Animation, that's a totally different story. But as far as their live action goes, it hasn't translated to general audiences very well, which is why it hasn't made this massive amount of money. That being said, it's going to make its money back. It's going to be somewhat profitable, but I think it's, at this point, based on the first trailer, I think it's going to be very close to Justice League, maybe a little bit better than Justice League, possibly.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that one. I mean, I'd like to see all these movies do great. I really would. I'm a big superhero guy, but now you got this Cavill stuff, and then you got the Affleck stuff. It's not cohesive at all.
No, it's not. And that's why if they were going to do anything, I feel like they should just reboot. I wouldn't mind if they just said, you know what, we're going to start from scratch. And I would say keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, because I think she is definitely the bright spot of the DC universe right now. But if they're going to go, there's not even any official word that Cavill's gone either. That was something that was leaked by the Hollywood Reporter, and then they came out and said, no, he's still Superman. And even Cavill put a post out there with him in a Superman shirt, picking up a Superman doll, and it was hilarious. And
I saw that.
Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen with it. So Edward Coleman says Aquaman should tap out at around $458 million. I don't think that's going to be the case, because keep in mind, that's only marginally better than Solo, and I don't think Aquaman's going to do Solo bad. Main reason, it's coming out in December. And so a lot of people are going to be off of school. A lot of people are going to have time to go to see it and see it multiple times. As I said, they've got a very hardcore DC fanboy base that is going to try and inflate the numbers by keep going to see it 4, 5, 6 times. Say, oh, look, see, it's successful. And, they're going to keep on trying to push that out there.
So DC never cracked $1 billion, huh?
No, it has not made a $1 billion film yet. The closest to it was Wonder Woman, and that was, I think, around in the $900 million. It was the most successful film that DC has done so far, not counting, of course, anything that came before it, speaking specifically about the DCEU. Someone said, do I know if Affleck is out? Affleck is no one knows at this point. There are people who say he's out. There are people who say that he's on the way out. There's been no official word that he's completely done. It's different than Cavill, because Cavill is still, it's just this one report from Hollywood Reporter that came out really that substantiated anything. Everyone's been talking about, Ben Affleck being gone and being done. So I would say there's more credibility to him leaving and more credibility to him being done at the end of the day. But I think Cavill is still going to be around.
Who do you look at as a suitable replacement for Affleck?
Oh, I mean, I've got my, fantasy picks. I don't think it's realistic. I mean, I would love to see Jake Gyllenhaal in the picture, because he would be amazing as anything. Like any character, Jake Gyllenhaal could do it, hands down.
Yeah.
I would love to see him there. I would love to see, what's his name from Mad Men? Oh, what's his name? The actor from Mad Men.
Drawing a blank.
I'm drawing a blank too. Someone in the chat's gonna say it, but Matthew Kadish says.
Somebody say it.
See, Matthew Kadish says, "Did you see Grace Randolph's new video about Kathleen Kennedy and how her previous report wasn't wrong?" No, I did not, Matthew Kadish. So we might have to talk about that later. Let's see. Angel Butler says Matt Damon, not Matt Damon. John Hamm. John Hamm was the guy I was thinking about. Yes, thank you, chat. Yeah. I think John Hamm would be it. Greta says Ben Affleck is in rehab right now, so he's not doing too great. Oh, I had no idea about that, Greta.
That's what I heard too.
Okay.
I heard it. The alcohol's getting the best of him.
Well, I mean, when you look at his life, I mean, he went through a divorce, and you know, the whole Sadfleck thing happened because he obviously wasn't happy with his role or with the direction of DC, and probably other things going on in his life as well. But
right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Welcome to my Madhouse says,
So, what do you think?
Time to unsubscribe. Why, Madhouse? What did I say?
I didn't see that.
And then Alexander wants to know, what are your thoughts? I'll ask you, John. What are your thoughts on John Soega, who plays Finn in the new Star Wars?
Oh, John Soega.
Oh,
I never heard it called Soega.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't read that there. What are my thoughts on him?
Yeah.
Was that the question?
Yeah.
I've only seen it once so far, and the character definitely can do without. You could just make him disappear.
Yeah.
I have no use. Like I said, the last three were so bad. I haven't seen Solo yet. It's just they were so unimpressive. I don't even collect the toys that they make now. You know what I mean? And I'm more vintage, like from the 70s and 80s. But the newer stuff is just, they're just pumping it out, and they're trying to recreate what they did back years ago. And I don't know if any of your followers or yourself even seen like the Toys That Made Us on Netflix.
I have. It's an amazing show.
Okay.
But I would say this.
Why
do you hate her?
Story.
Why do you hate her? Why do you hate Rostika? Oh, my name is Ozzy. My name is Ozzy Rostika. Why you got a problem with me, eh? Why you got a problem with me, eh? All right, continue. No, it's a great documentary. They tried to
recreate what they did, which was incredibly. It was like magic when Lucas went to production, and the first couple scenes of that Star Wars, the Toys That Made Us, was just incredible. They were just making these toys and making these figures and making this stuff before the movie had even hit. Yeah. I mean, that's like gambling. That's like throwing your life's work on the table and saying, hey, we got to make this work. There's no way we can lose. We've got to do this. It's got to be done. And they just made magic happen.
Yeah.
And nowadays they like the producers, the toy companies, and whatever happens, whoever makes this crap nowadays, it's just all about the dollar. It's just like, how much stuff can we put out with Star Wars? You'll have Star Wars staplers, tennis shoes, whatever it be, hats, shirts, refrigerator magnets. I'm just like looking around, picture frames, printer. Come on. You know what I mean? Like how far are you really going to go?
Yeah, it's amazing too, because they were selling these toys before the movie came out, and to the point where they were just making figures for characters that were not even prominent in the movie. Like, for example, Prune Face here, who is, only marginally talked about. And then, of course, I've dubbed him Steve, but he's basically just like a generic commander. And so I call him Steve. But, I mean, it's so funny because, like, those toys did well. You can't even sell Rose Tico's. I mean, the only reason why Rose Tico got any success whatsoever is because of Ethan Van Sciver and his obsession with the character. Right.
But like I said, you can't. Lightning don't strike twice. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. And you guys, I watch your show all the time, and me and Sensei Mike are always talking, and it just seems like they're just jackhammering this franchise into the ground as hard as they can do it, and it just makes people like us who were passionate about it and grew up on it, and it was always something that stayed with us. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it. And you know, you guys are way deeper than I am with the producers and with the movies and stuff. I'm just more or less on the toy end, and I see it like I don't touch the stuff. There's people that call me up and say, "Hey, I have all this Star Wars stuff. Would you be interested in it? Can you send me a picture first?" Why? Well, if it's green carded or red carded, I wouldn't be interested because you can't. There's nothing I could do with them. They give the stuff away. They just basically give it away, and that's talking the Phantom Menace and the Power of the Force green cards. That's not even talking any of the Force Awakens or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's even worse. You can't buy that stuff for 50 cents and sell it for $1. You'll be carrying it around.
No, and that's
you know
why
what I mean? Like, there's
and that's the reason why, like, because my channel wants me to get some like porgs for the channel and you know, have my dogs eat them up and stuff. But it's so funny because you go on Amazon and you can get them for like dirt cheap now. Like the Funko Pops, which normally are very expensive, are like 50, 60, 70% off depending on you know, the situation. And it's just amazing that, like, for example, the fact that you have these original characters that are like prized possessions that people like still want to hold on to, even though they might be worth a lot, they still want to hold on to. But then this new stuff, it's like, it's never going to be successful. And people will say, oh, you're just thinking that way because, you know, the people of today, it's going to become valuable to the people of the future. But it's not the same. Like, you cannot tell me that the magic that existed in the 1970s all the way through the 1980s, you know, with the original Star Wars, you cannot tell me that that is the same magic that is happening today. I mean, that you would not have a movie that has Star Wars on it lose $200 million at the box office. That would not conceivably happen if things were okay in Star Wars right now. And that's why that's why the reason, you know, I know Matthew Cadish was like, well, you know, Hollywood doesn't work the way that real life does. But that's why I was so amazed when I found out she got a 3-year contract extension, because I was like, she's driving it to the ground.
Yeah, it's what, you know, like I said, they just keep jackhammering it, and they're trying to go down every avenue, and every place they go is a dead end.
Yeah, no, for sure. Tina said that she saw a stuffed porg on eBay for around $50 or $60. No bids, no offers.
Oh, you won't get that.
That's so sad. Oh, Mr. Peabody wants me to show y'all. So he actually gave me, let me get those figures for you.
Oh, he sends them the vintage ones.
Alrighty. So he also got me so this is a 1977 Han Solo action figure. Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. So yeah, Han Solo 1977, which is funny because he looks nothing like Han Solo, and I love it. And then the first thing he sent me, though, was a 1977 Chewbacca, which is just like, I mean, it's just so cool. Like, the fact that these are like original toys, and these are worth so much to so many people. But if I were to be like, hey guys, you want my Rose Tico? You want my Rose Tico? You see my Rose Tico right here? You want it? I couldn't like give it away.
Well, what were the figures loose, you think?
Worthwhile?
Yeah.
Complete. The Solo's probably 30. Chewbacca 30, around that area. Leia seems to be the highest with the blaster, because it's so you don't find it. Like, Solo's blaster came with 3 or 4 different figures. The Stormtrooper blasters came with 3 or 4 different figures, so they're pretty easy to find. But the Leia blaster is the tough one, because she was the only one that came with it. And you'll actually pay. This is crazy. I mean, and you'll pay upwards of $60 for Princess Leia's gun, just a little plastic gun that she had in 70. It's crazy what the prices command nowadays.
Yeah. And that's why it makes sense, because I imagine that Prune Face was the only one that came with this kind of gun, which is why Peabody was like, that's why the gun's worth more than the figure, because
yeah, I think he's the only figure that did come with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, and collectors out there, they're so crazy. Like, they want every variation, like that Han Solo you held up. I think that's a they call that a big head variation. Now they made a small head variation also. So there was two heads to the mold. Well, collectors will want both. You know what I mean? Like they can't just get away with just, oh, I have the big head one, I got to get the small one too.
Yeah.
They have to have them all. Like it's insane. Like they upgrade all the time, and it's nothing for them to drop $600, $700, $800 on a carded figure.
Yeah. And
again, they'll hold on to it and find a better one and sell theirs, and you know, pick up the better one. They're always trying to upgrade. But
yeah,
it's amazing what people. I ship all over the world. I ship to Australia, Denmark, all through eBay and stuff. It's just incredible what people.
Well, that's why the documentary on
like
Netflix. Yeah, that's why the documentary on Netflix is so fascinating, because you have these collectors, and I remember they showed one guy who has like, it looked like a store, but it's his own private collection, and he literally has like every variation of a toy. Like every variation of these different figures, and it's truly amazing. And Peabody wanted to let you know that he has Leia's blaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep it. If I need that, I'll let you know. That's definitely a tough piece to find.
Yeah.
But you know, getting back, like I said, that Toys That Made Us, I waited for that show, and I thought they just knocked it out of the park. It was just something that was amazing. There's a few people that were on there that I know personally.
Oh, nice.
And it's just they're great guys, and they're just passionate about it. It's insane. I mean, really, I can't wait to go to shows, or you know what I mean. Like the same thing you guys do with the movies is basically what I do with the toys. You know, it's just it keeps me interested all the time, and you're always meeting people, you're always talking to people. It's something good, and it goes right in hand with the movies. Because you got to know what you're talking about. If you didn't see the movies, then you know what I mean? Like you don't know. But somebody will ask me about new stuff, and I go, nah, I can't help you on that.
It's like, I don't buy it because I know I can't sell it.
Exactly. I mean, you can find this stuff discounted at Walmart for 50 cents. It's unreal.
It's so true.
Like calling saying, hey, I got all this Star Wars stuff for sale.
Yep.
Sometimes it's crazy.
And that's why it's funny, because Peabody like had to send me a Rose Tico from Australia for me to get my own Rose Tico, because of everyone going out and buying it, only because of EBS, you know?
Yeah, they're stockpiling them here in the United States.
Yeah, they are.
I remember that guy I was telling you about, he drew Green Lantern for DC. His name's Ethan Van Sciver. He's one of the creators of the Phantom Menace. And how many Rose Ticos he has? 20, 30? He's
got a lot. And I remember, because I asked him on Twitter, I was like, dude, give me one of your Rose Ticos. And then like I kept mentioning on my streams, and then Mr. Peabody was like, I can find you a Rose Tico. And so then he sent me one, and it was amazing. It was really cool. And then that's when he sent me also the 1977 Chewbacca. And I was like, I got Rose Tico, and then I got a 1977 Chewbacca. It's like night and day as far as, you know, which one's cooler and has more value to it.
Right.
Yeah, everyone calls him Uncle Ethan. Yeah, lately, I gotta say, Uncle Ethan's been, and I know he's a comic book guy, so it makes sense to me, but he has just been on Comicsgate overload lately, and I just, you know, it's already hard enough for me to keep up with everybody's channel, and I used to watch his stuff all the time, but I'm not a comics guy, so I've just been like, I haven't been able to watch his stuff lately because it's been all about comics.
I agree. I used to watch him a lot too.
Yeah.
I don't really understand the whole Comicsgate thing. I mean, it was like Gamergate and all this other stuff. I never really followed it too much. It's just, I think it's just a little, it's excessive drama, you know.
Yeah, I definitely think there's something there to it, because I do think that there are people who are being fired and let go because of their own political ideology, and I think that's wrong, and I do think that that's something that's worth talking about. But just for me, like, you know, I was watching Ethan Van Sciver because of his Star Wars reporting, because of his Star Wars news, and, you know, I just don't have a connection to when it comes to comics, personally. It's the same reason why there are people on my channel, whenever I talk wrestling, they're like, oh, I'm out. I don't care about wrestling. It's like, I respect that. I mean, I understand, because not everyone's going to be into wrestling. And so, like, every time there's a pay-per-view, I do a live stream where I watch the pay-per-view and then I talk. And I tell the guys, I tell everyone that's in the chat saying, I could talk about other things. I don't have to talk about wrestling with you guys, because I can just turn my mind off when I watch this stuff. You know, I don't need to really, it doesn't require a lot of brain power for me to watch a pay-per-view.
Right. But look how many channels this new trilogy created.
Yeah. Seriously.
Unbelievable. I mean, and that's why we're trying to get our stuff together and you know, put something together soon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's a new story every day.
Yeah. Yeah, literally every single day.
Every day. And it's usually something negative.
Yep, pretty much, man. Like it's just so crazy, and that's why, you know, there are rare occasions though when there's like no Star Wars news. But of course, ever since Kathleen Kennedy's contract came out, it's like nonstop people trying to defend her and trying to say that there's a bunch of angry white racist sexists who are complaining on YouTube and everything. It's like, you're just adding fuel to the fire, people. You really don't want Episode 9 to make any money by continuing to make these kinds of.
Their decisions are horrible as a corporation. I mean,
Awful.
oh my God, how are you ever going to make that back? I mean, I heard you talking about it, Odin. They only cleared 60% of the money that they bought for it, and they only have one movie in the pipe right now.
Yeah. And I mean, there are other ways, because obviously there's other revenue streams. You know,
Sure.
they have the deal with Netflix. They're gonna, you know, having their own streaming service soon. But for me, for Solo, like that to me is like, you can make that up over a long period of time. Like that $200 million that they lost at the box office, they'll make that up eventually. But the deeper that deficit gets on every new film, the harder it's going to be to recoup that. And so that's why Episode 9 at this point is kind of like a battleground, because if Episode 9 breaks even, like just breaks even, that's when it's going to be like, I imagine it's going to be like chaos mode for everyone working at Lucasfilm.
I don't think I even have it in me to go, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I do, I'll pull one of your moves and
Yep.
get another ticket for something else.
Let's say Jumanji 2 is going to be out, so I'll give my money to that, because I like the first remake of Jumanji. It was funny. And then there's a bunch of, I think Wonder Woman 1984 might be coming out in December of next year. So there's a bunch of options. There's a bunch of options at that time.
You have Shazam in there also.
When does Shazam come out?
Oh, I know they're not putting it up against Infinity War 2 in May.
No,
I think it's earlier than that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and let me check.
I was going to say, check it out.
Because maybe Wonder Woman's not coming out in Christmas. Let me double check.
No, I think that's Aquaman.
No, that's this year. I'm talking about next year. Yeah, because
okay.
Star Wars isn't coming out until next year. Let's see. It's coming out 2019. Okay, yeah. It's coming out November 1st, 2019. So it's going to be relatively close to the release date of Star Wars. I mean, as far as like, you know, a big comic book film. So it's not going to be pulling too much money away from it, but it's still going to be in theaters by the time that Star Wars comes out, without any doubt in my mind.
What do you think about the Steve Trevor theory?
What's the Steve Trevor theory going on right now?
Well, I don't. I heard some people talking about that he's going to be Martian Manhunter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be down with that personally.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's just going to be like, because Manhunter's like a shapeshifter, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, Trevor died in the first one, but he's definitely in the second one.
Yeah. Yeah, they've already shown images from him on set, so either he was Martian Manhunter in the first film and flew away, or he is not Trevor and he's actually just Martian Manhunter who's trying to take on the facade of someone that she would trust. Yeah, so Shazam's coming out April of 2019. There's a chance Avengers 4 release date will be adjusted from the first weekend in May to late April. So that could be a possibility. And so, yeah, so it looks like the big movie, so Wonder Woman 1984 will be out at the time. I've already said this, that, you know, we'll have the new Jumanji film coming out at that time. So, and of course it's December. There's always tons of movies that come out in December. So it's going to have a lot of competition. And not only that, but also people are not going to want to go see it. So it's just, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Rhaegar says Steve Trevor is Plastic Man. That'd be interesting. Shazam, the original Captain Marvel, says Dave Bob.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. I heard that Cavill had his contract negotiations fell through. He was supposed to have a cameo in that film.
Yes, yes. So that's the reason why people thought he was going to be gone, was because of the contract falling through. But we'll see what happens. I think it all really depends on if he's going to be asking for a lot of money. Because if he's trying to get a lot of money out of the studio at this point, I don't think they're going to bite onto that. I think that they would rather let him go and reboot the character for less money, is what I'm gathering for what I've been seeing. But we don't know what's going on. So we'll find out as soon as everyone else does.
Right.
How's the puppy? Is the puppy laying down?
Yeah, he's on the floor.
He's chewing away.
On his bone.
Oh, he's chewing on his bone. Okay.
Yeah. He's being good.
That's good. Yeah, my pups would be like passed out at this point.
Yeah.
Because they get
How
crazy.
many you got?
I got 2. I got Willow and River. They're both mutts, and I love them to death. But they do drive me crazy. I've got tables that have been eaten by them, and then my futon's got a bunch of bite marks in it from them chewing on it. It's great. I love it.
Oh, Logan destroyed my furniture. Just destroyed it. Just scratching at all the leather and everything else. They're.
That's why when we were.
Yeah,
you can't be mad. You can't.
You can't be mad at them. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why, like, when we were thinking about getting a new couch for the living room, because they had destroyed one of the cushions for the other one. Like a quarter of the cushion was missing because they pulled all the stuffing out of it. And so we were thinking about leather, and then I was like, we don't want to do that because we have dogs. It's not be a good idea. And so we got fabric instead. And so basically, once all the pieces goes, so they lost like some of our pieces. They didn't deliver everything. So we just have pieces of unfinished furniture in our living room because we have to wait for all the pieces to get in. And oh my God, it's a whole ordeal. But once that happens, we're going to be moving another chair. So my futon's actually going to be donated because I'm not going to make anyone pay for, this dog bitten thing.
Right.
So I'll have a nice comfy orange couch in my room eventually. Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars 9, The Search for Spock, and who gives a damn?
That's fantastic. Welcome to my madhouse. Pig ears are always a great idea. I need to start investing in those because that will keep them busy for an entire stream. Cow hooves. Sounds good.
Pig ears.
Jar Jar has to copy something. Oh, Jar Jar Binks. Who would have thought that Jar Jar would have been a missed character at this point?
Oh, listen. I remember the theories about Jar Jar being the Emperor and all this other stuff.
Oh my God, if that ever came out. Oh my God, you have no idea. I would just go crazy. I would be cheering in the theater if all of a sudden we hear, Misa Sith Lord. Hi, Zaray. How's it going? And then right next to him, I've said this before, you need to have Darth Jar Jar come out, and then his young Padawan Ewok learner, Darth Cuddles. And that would be a way to sell me on anything that they would do.
Right.
But at this time, since we got a little bit of a break, I want to give some shout-outs to my patron supporters. So I want to give a huge shout-out to Adam Shawhan, Castellan Fry, Dave Bob, who's in the chat, Donald Hudson, Enrique Evangelista, Greta Z, Harold Francis, Inflamed Wood, Jamie Christopher, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody, Perpetual Punster, the DJD Show, the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, those 2 ball guys, and Tina B, my Valkyrie. Y'all are all amazing. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.
Hey, smash that like button.
Yes, smash the like button. Laura says, oh my God, love that episode 9.
9.
Tina says my Jar Jar sounds like Tommy Wiseau. Oh, you're so funny. You're so crazy, Tina. Now that would be, oh my God, if you want to bring Star Wars back to life, You need to have Tommy Wiseau come out as a cameo. Could you imagine if he came out as a Sith Lord?
Oh my!
I would pay to see that. I would pay to see that. Star Wars, you want my money? Put Tommy Wiseau in a starring role in Episode 9, and I will pay to see that movie.
Right.
No joke. I will pay to see that.
I would too.
Well, hi, everybody. I am Great Sith Lord, and you listen to me. I destroy your planet, and it's going to be great, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then
I wonder what new...
What?
I wonder what new super weapon they're going to have this time around.
Oh, God. I wonder what new plan. Oh, my goodness gracious. And now that hyperspace ramming is a thing, I wonder how they're going to destroy it.
That was a huge mistake. That was huge. Because remember in Rogue One when at the very end the Imperial fleet started to pull in, and it was just destroying other ships.
Yeah.
You know, that seemed more realistic than that hyperspace ram that, you know, whatever. I don't know how they're gonna fix that.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna forward you. So, Noodles, who's in our chat, Nickel Noodles, sure enough, made a great image of all three of our faces on different bodies. So I'm gonna be.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be forwarding that to you, so that way you can take a look.
Okay.
Like
through email?
It looks fantastic. Yeah, it's gonna be through email. If I can get this thing to work. How do I forward it? How do I make this work? Okay, there it is. I gotta type it in. Boom, forward, message sent. So go check out that image once it comes through. Nickel Noodles, that is amazing. I love it. It's fantastic. I'm very impressed.
I'm looking right now.
Peabody says Wookiee poop gun. Tina. What's the story, Tina?
I don't have it yet.
All right, should be coming soon, pretty soon. Michael Stark says, "Doing the Arnold accent. Do it now. You do the chopper."
What are your thoughts on that new Terminator?
Oh my God, I was excited until they released that poster.
Oh, I know. I know.
Wasn't the last one bad?
Well, they haven't
made a good. They haven't made a good one since T2. Yeah. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, they're bringing Sarah Connor back.
Oh, okay.
Which looks great. Like, I was excited for, but then they released it, and basically, this new Terminator, or one of the characters in the film, they made her look like an ambiguously gendered person, and it just doesn't look right. It's weird. It's so weird.
I like how you said the ambiguously gender.
Well, because I don't know what the hell they're going for. I'm confused by it.
I know. I agree, man. Logan, what's up, buddy?
See, Laura says, there is a ship in canon that can stop a ship from going into light speed. Interesting. Alexander says, do a Kathleen Kennedy impression. Whenever I think of Kathleen Kennedy, I think of, I am Kathleen Kennedy, and I am the head of Lucasfilm. I have no idea if she talks like this, but this is what I hear every time I see her face.
The Force is female.
The Force is female, and you will hear me roar. Let's see. Tina says, I was excited for Terminator 2, and then I saw the release picture. Yep, I'm the same way. I am that same way. They turned a girl into a guy.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like.
Yep. Watch out. Oh, Logan. You okay, Logan?
He wants attention.
Oh, I know. My puppies always want attention, too. That's a good puppy.
I bring him to work with me every day, and he starts to cry, and I'm like, oh, no. And we're in an office, and
yeah,
you know, you taking him out? Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't get that pic yet, but I'm very anxious. I'm very anxious to see it.
I could have sworn I sent it through. Let me try sending it through my phone instead. Yeah, it's an attachment. So forward, Sensei. All right, I sent it again, so hopefully it goes through.
Yeah, I want to thank you too, man. You really don't have to, to put me on a chat, and I really appreciate that.
No, no problem. Keep going. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say it, down the road, it's going to be very helpful when we start our channel, and very, very much appreciate it.
Absolutely, man, and thank you so much for being so supportive of the channel. It's like, it really is. I mean, I love having you on. I love talking with you. It's great to have your brother on this time too, because he's got of course not just like Giant Man comics, but also of course his his knowledge of figures and his knowledge of of the Star Wars from like kind of a different perspective than from what I normally talk about from like the movies. So it's really cool to have that perspective. So thank you for being on. It's been great to have you once again. So yeah, we can go on for a little bit longer before I have to call it a night. Maybe another like 15 minutes or so, and then I have to.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. Okay.
Peabody says, you always hum Jingle Bells when you're waiting for something. That's true. It's true. I don't know why. Like Christmas songs are like my go-to. I don't know why. Because even my dogs, whenever I make my dogs sing in their voices, I always sing it to the tune of Christmas songs. I don't know why. 70B says, Mecca Random and Mary send their love. Oh, well, thank you, Stephanie, for sharing that. Say, I send my love back to them.
How many...
A Great Jedi says, do not hum Christmas songs. It is September. Gee, damn it. We are supposed to be waking up Green Day. That's a great comment. You were about to say something?
I forget.
What?
It was like how much, I think it was the first couple words.
Oh, how many subs you got now?
Let me see. I was at 4,500 the last time I checked.
Wow, that's great.
How
long have you been on?
So I started making videos in May. I started live streaming in July. So July is when I started live streaming for the first time. And yeah, I'm at 4,567. So yeah, it's been insane.
That's great,
it's been so insane.
That's great. That's great.
Logan's like, I want to be on.
Yeah, he's gonna be a year next month.
Oh.
And, but listen, he's got that. He's like a teenager.
Oh.
Them hormones are going.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Has he been fixed yet? Is he gonna get fixed?
I'm gonna get him fixed. They told me they don't like to do it until they're at least a year old now because the effects of the testosterone affects their growth plates.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
so
yeah, I have two females, so for them, it's actually they want to try it now because like there's different science on different timings, right. And so the ones that we listened to said that they like to do it before the first time, like the first time that she's in heat, and they want to do it before then because it's better for them apparently. But of course, there's studies saying otherwise too, so it's hard to really make sense of anything.
Yeah. I'm gonna again. I wish I had the time and the patience to braid them and do a lot of those types of things, but
yeah.
I'm just gonna get them fixed here next month and. That should calm them down a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that usually usually does. It's always the saddest thing too because they got the cone of shame on, and
don't cut.
Oh, no, yeah, Mr. Peabody.
No balls after.
Don't cut the nuts. I'm sorry, Logan.
Poor guy.
Sorry, buddy. They're coming off.
Oh no! Don't pull a Kathleen Kennedy. Don't castrate him, man. Just like she castrated Star Wars.
I know, she did. I still didn't get that yet, buddy.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. You're sending it to that email we usually use, right?
Yeah.
Logan. Yeah, maybe I'll get it later, I'll let you know when I do.
All right, cool. Sounds good. At the very least, I'm going to go ahead and try and see if I can post it in the Discord.
Okay.
So that way everyone else can see it.
All right.
Poor Logan.
You're all right, buddy. Yeah, I let him out to. He just won't let me talk. In the lobby area, and he starts grabbing legs, and I get, I'm like, these are patients, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And he's so strong, and he had this one old lady's leg, and he wouldn't let go. I couldn't get him off her. But they thought it was a joke. They were laughing. It wasn't like a bad thing. But yeah, he's oh man.
Laura says Logan is saying, where are the biatches at?
Yeah, right.
Oh, Alexander says if River comes in, she might get an online date.
Who's River?
My puppy.
Oh, your puppy. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
one of my puppies.
Okay, that's right.
One of my girls.
Yeah.
Oh, this chat is great.
I tell you what, though, man. Your chat has to be one of the funniest chats.
Oh, I love it.
That's great. I like last night when you were watching Spaceballs. I was getting some work done. I had you on in the background on the TV there, and they watched Spaceballs last night. Oh, they were laughing. It's hysterical, man.
And it's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this is so good." They could not make this. They could not make this today. So sad.
Oh no, they couldn't. They couldn't. Mel Brooks, he was a genius.
Oh, ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time, and that's why I'm so glad, because like every time I look over at my shelf, I have his like big movie collection, and I'm like, I need to sit down and just watch all of them one day, because there's still a lot of films I haven't seen, like High Anxiety, silent movie, 12 Shares. Like there's a bunch of films I haven't seen yet, but
I don't think I've seen those ones either. I saw I always liked Spaceballs and History of the World, two of my favorites.
Yes, History of the World especially. It's
great. It's just great.
I used to always show so there's two things I'll show. I used to teach 9th grade theology, and so I'd always show something about the Inquisition, and it was usually be showing the Inquisition. What a show, the Inquisition. Here we go. And it was either that, or I would show them the clip of him dropping the commandments. I give you the 15 commandments. 10 commandments. So great.
I'm still looking for this picture.
Let's see. Laura says Mark Hamill made an agreement to get one of every Star Wars toy made, so his house is like a Star Wars hoarded. Oh wow. Yeah, I saw your comment earlier, Laura. So yeah, he made a contract. And so he gets every Star Wars toy since 1977. So Laura was saying, I'll repeat it. Laura was saying that Mark Hamill made an agreement where he gets one of every Star Wars toy ever made since like 1977. One of each since 1977. One of each since 1977.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, he's got a fortune.
Yeah.
Sitting on a
77 stuff is
unbelievable. Yeah, that alone.
Yeah. The Boba Fett, he'll sell carded over maybe at $700-800, maybe $1,000 if it's nice.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But some of the stuff is just unbelievable. You come across stuff. I seen a Millennium Falcon sealed that was graded through AFA, and it was like an 85. It's probably an $8,000 piece. It's just ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you would never who thought of it? Who'd have thought of it as a kid?
Yeah.
You bought that stuff and you played with it.
Yeah, you
Who
had it in your
had the
bathtub
control?
and all.
Right.
Yeah,
Who had the control?
yeah. You're lighting them on fire and
Yeah, firecrackers.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say the one I'm not a huge fan of modern day SNL, but one of the funniest things was when The Force Awakens had come out, and they did one where it was talking about all the new toys, and it
One
was
to
like
buy, one to open.
and yeah, it was like or just leave it in the box.
I do remember. I've seen that. But it's some of the stuff is just ridiculous. What was the last one I had seen about? Oh, Jeremy Bullock, who played Boba Fett. He's no longer doing Comic Cons anyway, anymore either. He's getting up there in age. Him and his wife did it for like 30 years. They were real nice people. I've met them before, and Ray Park is unbelievable of the new stuff from the Phantom Menace. He's just a super nice guy. He enjoys being with the fans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Oh yeah, this guy's met Stan Lee. He's met
Peter Mayhew, all of them.
Nice.
You never see Hamill or Harrison Ford or anything like that. But Chewbacca, Boba Fett. There's Billy D. Williams is always. He's always. We're only 45 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, so he's always at the Comic Cons. They run down there 3 times a year. Anthony Daniels, 3PO.
Mm-hmm.
They're all they're really. Fan based people. They're super nice. They're not. Some of the stars, and I won't mention any names, but they're arrogant. They're
I know. Yeah,
they're just
even outside of Star Wars, like I've when I was in New York for 4 years for college, I would go see Broadway shows all the time, and I'd always stage door, and so it was interesting to see like the actors who are like really cool, like really chill. And I'm sorry. He's so cute.
He's whining.
He's so cute.
I know. Sorry, I couldn't get the video to work last time. Now we can't get the dog to quit crying. So
it's adorable.
Maybe one of these times, Owen, we'll have us a nice chat without no interruptions.
I love it though. It's great. But it's great. Because there were some actors where it was like they were just totally stuck up, like didn't care about anything. But then there were others who were just so cool. Like I met Bill Pullman. So speaking of Spaceballs, I met Bill Pullman because he was in an off-Broadway show. And he was so cool. Like he let me take a picture with him. I got to talk to him for a little bit, and it was just really awesome. And then you get to someone who I never have a problem calling out, and that is
Get over here. Get your ball. Get your ball.
And the other guy is the one who he did several voices on. He did several voices on The Simpsons. What's his name? Shoot, I forgot it. That's another name I always forget. He was also in The Birdcage as well. He played Agador Spartacus.
On that one. That's a stumper.
But anyway, I saw him. Someone in the chat's gonna get in a second. But anyway, I saw him and he was a total jerk.
Hank
He was
Azaria.
so mean. Hank Azaria, thank you very much.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria. So
Apu.
yes, exactly. Apu, the voice of Apu. And so but him, totally an ass. Like totally an ass. And then on the flip side, you have Sir Patrick Stewart, who was really cool.
He's met the guys from Comic Book Men.
Nice.
But
there were iffy kind of. Ming was real nice. The other two kind of
a little arrogant.
a lot arrogant. Like it's and a lot of times. Listen, I get it. I understand it. We all have bad days. We all maybe they had a bad flight in. Maybe they were just miserable. Maybe they didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But without us, they're nothing. And it just goes this, what I mean? Like it's just part of the job.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. And that's why, it's always hard because, when you put yourself out there in the public sphere, when you become a part of something bigger than yourself in a lot of ways, you have to imagine that it's probably hard. That's why, like, for me, I always find that balance because you can't ignore the fact that you're in the public sphere. You can't ignore the fact that, you are part of something bigger. But then at the same time, the people who are the fans need to remember that they're also people, that they're also like regular everyday people too. So there's got to be that fine balance on both sides, like on both sides of the equation for sure.
Right.
Rhaegar asked
But some of them are just, like you said, they're just arrogant. They're, all the time, not just sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone asked me, because I have met Rhaegar Targaryen says, was Kevin Smith cool? Yes. So actually on my 19th birthday, I met him, and he took a picture with me, and he was so cool. He was super chill. He was hanging out with friends, and he was like, yeah, I'll take a picture with you at your birthday. Yeah, no problem. He was awesome. So
yeah, I heard Kevin Smith was really cool. Yeah, I did.
Let's see.
Would you?
I'm going to give him these headphones.
Yeah, we're going to put the Logan on.
He's like, I want to be a part of the action. All right, well, is there anything else that y'all want to say before we start to wrap things up? I know that John, do you want to give a big shout out, big plug to Giant Man Comics, so that way everyone can check out and know where to find you?
Yeah, it's www.giantmancomics.com. The site is vaguely up and running right now. I don't have the tech nor the time to get everything that I have loaded up there. I have the Facebook page is the best way to find our stuff. As soon as I get it, 99% of the time it's there before it hits eBay, before it hits our website. But I do own the rights to the website, and I am working on it. So trust me, we're trying to get it done. It's so tough because you need so much time to put into it. And then in, one day it could sell, and boom, there's an hour and a half, one piece gone. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so crazy. And I'm not a tech guy, so I don't know too much about it. I have a younger guy who helps me out with it. So, sit tight, but we do own the rights. We're not going to give them up, and we're going to try to keep it going. But the best way is Facebook, or on my eBay store is Giant Man Comics, also. But and if any of your subscribers are looking for anything, listen, I'm always on the hunt. Don't matter, whatever you're looking for, give me a call. Give me the phone numbers on the website, on the Facebook page. Email me, whatever. And if I come across it, I'm more than glad to find it and give you a price on it, because I do go everywhere. I mean, we're all over.
Nice.
So very that's cool. About it for my plug.
All right, awesome. Sensei Mike, you got anything?
No, man. You know what? Just want to extend my appreciation once more for letting us take the time and talk to you and all your fans. Your subs are great. I really enjoy hanging out with this channel, and I will keep up with my donations as long as I can. I gotta help other people with mortgages now.
Absolutely. And I will say, because we'll talk after the stream ends too, because Jeremy wants to get in contact with you about getting you on his channel.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that off stream.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's definitely something that's going to come down the pipe. He can't do it anytime soon because he's in California doing his whole thing. He's been on the road. So, but in the next couple weeks or so, he would love to have you on at some point. So,
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. I never had a chance. I watch him, just as well. I watch all you guys.
Yeah.
And I just never had a chance to. I've made some comments on his site. He's a really good dude.
Yeah.
I just haven't got a chance to speak to him yet. But yeah, that's great, man. Thank you so much for
Absolutely.
that.
No, I mean, he's just so chill. He's a really cool guy, and it's always great to see like someone is the exact same off camera and in person as they are on camera. It's always great to have that, that it's authenticity, and I love it because unfortunately in today's world sometimes you don't have it. And so it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see that with him, especially. So,
right.
But no, Sensei, thank you so much for coming on. You and John both for coming on.
And thank you so much for having me. Mike, thank you for telling me to come up.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a blast. It's always great because obviously I love talking to the chat, but it's always great to talk to somebody else and also interact with the chat too, because it adds another level to it. It's always fun to talk about different topics and get different perspectives on things and come from a different direction. So thank you all so much for being a part of this and for joining, and it's been fun. So yeah, guys, giantmancomics.com and also Giant Man Comics on Facebook and eBay, and John will hook you up with whatever it is that you are looking for. And Logan will unfortunately someday no longer be the man that he is now.
Cutting them off soon. Cutting them off. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Tell everybody bye.
Kiss them goodbye, guys. All right. So, guys, as always, thank y'all so much for watching. Have a great night. As always, God bless. I'm going to leave the stream running for a little, like maybe about a minute, so that way you can check your cookie count and all that good stuff. And we will be talking. So, guys, y'all don't go anywhere because I'm going to talk to y'all as soon as the stream goes offline.
Hey, thanks, chat.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Have a good one, guys. All right. Poor Logan. I know. Hey, trust me, I understand it because sometimes when my wife's out and I have to have my dogs in here, it's like nonstop. They just, you know, they love to make noise. They love getting attention. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like. Yeah. Literally, I was talking with him, and he brought it up in conversation saying, "Oh, dude, can you contact Sensei Mike? Tell him that I would love to have him on." Like, it was just a random thing. No, yeah, seriously. Yeah. 85,000 now. Yeah. 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 Gigantic. I mean, he's the guy that helped me get started. He's the one that, like, you know. Wait, Hot Mike?